How's it going, everybody? Welcome to OP Entertainment. I'm Omar Darwish.
And I'm Pratik Cherian.
And this is our special guest, Jesse Mann, resident Michael Jackson expert. Honestly, in my whole life, never met a bigger Michael Jackson fan in my life, so we had to have you for this.
Man. Thank you.
In case you couldn't tell, we're reviewing Michael today.
We're going to go spoiler-free?
As much as you can not spoil stuff that happened in real life.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
like,
you know?
Boy, calling it history makes me feel old. But anyway, I want to start with Jesse. What did you think about this movie?
I really liked what they did as far as Michael, like, as an adult, as he grew up, late 70s, going into the 80s. They did that well.
Okay.
Didn't love
Younger
all
Mike.
the young... No, I liked younger Mike. I didn't care for all the... Like, they didn't really put a lot of character into all his siblings and stuff.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. If you're going into this looking for Tito and the rest of the game, you're not going to get it, really.
Yeah.
They're in it.
They're in the background.
They're in it, yeah.
No, I'll echo that. I think the best part of this movie, besides obviously just Michael Jackson's music up on a big screen, and I will say, see this in IMAX or see this on a big screen, because I think it'll help. I thought that Jafar Jackson playing Michael Jackson absolutely killed it.
Right.
Gave you everything you
Absolutely.
could possibly hope for, and I thought that he was the standout for this movie. I think the big complaint, and I think we'd probably all agree, is just that there's not a lot of fleshing out in this movie.
As far as Michael?
I think
in general.
In general, yeah, that's fair.
You know, I think that...
I would say well, just to disagree a little bit, I think if everybody was as fleshed out as Michael, this movie would feel more dense.
Right.
In a good way. I think that Michael is a little underdeveloped, but maybe it's just because that we all know Michael Jackson, or at least we all have our own version of Michael Jackson, which, that being said, this is going to be a controversial movie for a lot of people.
A lot of people.
How do you feel like the movie handled that aspect of it? I feel like let's just get that out of the way.
Well, it handled it by not doing it at all.
Yeah.
The movie stops in 1988.
Yep.
Which means that they can kind of just pretend that all the stuff that happens after 1988 just doesn't happen. They don't have to deal with it at all. And there is a second part coming, which
hopefully
it feels like they just punted all the controversial stuff to the second part. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, maybe they get a new director and they're just like, here you go. Speaking of, directed by Antoine Fuqua. I don't know if I mentioned that. What do we think there was a visual style to this? Any directorial tone or anything? Because I really didn't feel that. That's my biggest gripe with this. I didn't feel like anybody had.
It did look
anything
good.
To say.
It did match. All the aesthetics were there, no doubt. But it didn't have a tone to where I was like, oh, I like how they did it.
Yeah,
it's normal, I would say.
It's definitely not Tim Burton's.
Yeah, it's not like crazy stylized, but it matches Mike and it's good.
Yeah,
But
they're trying to like bring up the nostalgia and make you like, oh, here's that camera angle. Here's this. Like, they're trying to just go for what you know, and it works. But
So
it's not a showcase. For
as like the biggest Michael Jackson fan, do you feel like they hit the right notes? Like they highlighted the right things to highlight? As far as
they did. Like I was telling you guys earlier, I believe that they were going. I believe that they were going to do this to start off with in the first place. Just going off the Bohemian Rhapsody thing, I'm like. Yeah. They're not going to always get the details right because that's not who they're really selling to. They're selling to the new. They're selling to the... And they have to keep us satisfied, too, as OG fans. No doubt.
Anytime the family is involved.
Yeah, and when family's involved, so it's a lot of, tiptoeing around on certain things. And like you said with the Janet thing, that's a spoiler.
Spoilers. Janet's not in this movie?
It's kind of not... If you're in the lore already, you already probably knew. But like...
I didn't.
Yeah, but... I follow it too much.
I'm watching the movie. I'm like, oh, is Janet not born yet? And then they get to like, he's older. I'm like, okay, clearly Janet should be
been
here.
born. She decided, from what we know now, that that she didn't want to be a part of it.
That being said, it didn't really affect the movie that much. Like,
and they have a good age gap. Yeah. She doesn't have a lot to do with his development. He was already almost 20-ish by the time.
I mean, if you ask this movie, none of the brothers really did.
I know.
He has brothers.
Yeah, right. Like, honestly, I feel like if they would have cast someone as Janet in this, she would have just been in the background like the rest of the cast, and that's kind of a shame. And is that the biggest gripe for all of us, that they didn't really get flesh out any of the characters?
It didn't feel family enough. Even though I felt for what Nia Long was doing as Catherine, I felt what Coleman Domingo was doing. Bravo to him and his prosthetics. I believed him as Joe. Like,
yeah, we can talk about Coleman
as
Domingo.
fans. Coleman Domingo, yes, bro, snapped.
Yeah, basically the movie has. Besides Michael Jackson, there's like 4 characters in it.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I think that Coleman Domingo as Joe is, in many ways, because he's the main let's just say the main antagonist in this.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot. He's a lot of the narrative push. So much so that there's a portion in the middle when Michael first launches his solo career,
Right.
and we kind of and Joe kind of disappears from the picture for a bit,
Mm-hmm.
and I kind of like that's where I felt the movie kind of like dragging a little bit because
There's no friction.
There's no
Just-
friction.
yeah.
That narrative thrust is just gone.
Yeah.
And they didn't really replace it with anything else. Like we don't see him like struggling to like come up with what he wanted to do solo or anything.
Yeah.
It's just
Right.
like he's going solo and it's perfect.
You could argue
Right.
that we don't see much struggle in general, like from Michael, because like he's like you said, I want to do my solo album. Okay, Michael, whatever you want. I want to do this. Okay, Michael, whatever you want. And I was expecting like Coleman Domingo was great, but I've heard you grow up hearing all these stories about Joseph Jackson being this terrible monster, and like I don't know, even from the trailers, I was expecting worse. Like
Right,
I don't know,
worse.
like.
Yeah.
Every time I was like, oh man, what's he about to do? Nothing apparently. He's just gonna let it go. Like,
Right.
oh man, he's no way he's gonna let Michael do this. Oh, he does. Oh, okay.
Right.
I think a lot of the menace is in them selling like you feel Michael's reaction to it, you
Right.
know?
Yeah.
And that's what really like sells it. I want to go back to something you said really really fast though, just about like Michael not going through any struggles.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think the movie would have been better if we had seen more of that? Or
I think it would have made him feel more human, and maybe that's not what they're going for here because it's Michael Jackson. But I feel like, yeah, I don't know. You need some push and pull in any narrative, right? And like you were saying, if the narrative thrust being Coleman Domingo isn't in a lot of a portion of this movie, let's say, I think it needs something to keep it going to make the character like the movie more interesting. Because I was starting to get a little bored, like, which is crazy because I love Michael Jackson.
Right.
Everything I'm watching is like entertaining. I don't know. It's I guess just that aspect of it.
just
I got a question for
Okay.
both of you guys.
Okay.
Were you getting the Spider-Man effect where it felt like you already know so much going in that even directors are starting to put that in, and that's why they're not giving us all the fleshed out stuff? Like, that's why we have the Jackson movie and all these other things. Are you, like, thinking that, too, where it's like
you're
this
saying,
is
like,
such a big guy and just the ethos of the world that they're like, you know this
You
stuff.
already know.
You know,
Yeah, you already
like,
know. Yeah.
you know, just give them the shiny stuff and
I do
make
feel
them
like
happy,
I
you know
was
what I'm
bringing
saying?
in
Like,
I was bringing in a lot of like my outside knowledge. Not that I have a ton, but like I think
You
this
got a
movie
fair amount of Michael
does
Jackson
does
knowledge,
expect
so.
like people to know certain things
Yeah.
going in because I feel like you might just not be as interested if you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know, yeah,
That's a good point.
and that's kind of where I was going with this. Actually, is I feel like instead of them giving us a fleshed out Michael Jackson with like flaws and things to overcome, they really just kind of like hint at it, and they're like, you know that this is going to be a problem,
Yeah.
like you understand, and like the movie doesn't actually show it to us. It's just kind of like, you know, if you've read a Wikipedia page, like you understand where this is going.
His struggles and flaws are so public and have been so like loudly what has been being screamed the past like decade that this is the Jackson's family's right. They have every right to tell their side of the story and like,
Right.
you know, we don't want Michael represented that way. This is how we know Michael and this is what it is. And
Right.
if you're expecting anything else from out of this, then I think you're going into this with the wrong mindset.
I think the thing is just that I understand and respect it. And again, it's not like what I'm wanting. Like, at the end of the day, what I'm wanting is to, like, hear good music,
right.
feel like I understand the character a little bit better, and, like, come out of there with a good time. Like, I don't necessarily want them to, like, plumb the depths.
Do you feel like it
Right.
did
But-
that, though? Do you feel like you understood the character at least more?
Not really.
Yeah, I don't.
But that's kind of where I'm going with it. Is I feel like if you don't show us any of the struggle at all, then it does take away from that. Where I don't feel like I came out of it knowing that
Yeah.
much more.
I don't
That-
feel
that-
like the stakes were ever high.
Yeah.
enough.
That being said,
You know?
this movie does open with the struggle, right? So you do see like like I feel like we get all that in like the opening scene, and then not for the rest of it, right?
Right.
And so that to
But
me
it's
that
almost
was
too pretty. You
Yeah,
know, in a
yeah,
way where
yeah.
you almost don't feel it, even though we
It's-
know it. It's
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
it's like that
Especially
Spider-Man thing again.
that
It's like
that
you kinda
early
supposed
the
to
early
know.
Jackson 5 stuff honestly felt like a Wikipedia entry set
Yeah, it's
to
just-
set to film.
Yeah.
You know, like it's almost like.
Do you
good,
think it's because
bad.
of how the
Yeah.
movie was edited though? Like it was like how it would go for like 1977 to 19 like
Right.
it was like it was almost just like giving us random scenes.
It's like a highlight reel.
yeah,
That's what it
yeah,
just
yeah.
felt
This
like,
movie
you know?
felt like a highlight reel in
Yeah.
a lot of ways.
Right.
Like,
More
I
so
almost
than a
wish-
biopic should.
I
Right.
wish we had just started with a more adult Michael Jackson, you know? Like
Yeah.
I wish the movie had just started when he was like ready to launch his solo career.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that's where it really got interesting.
I would have preferred if him and Coma Domingo had beef, like as it started, like early on, and then go back to the kid, and then show that, and then go
show
for
where
the
it
movie
stems
for the
from,
rest of the way, kind of how it went. You know,
Flashbacks would have helped.
yeah, but we
because
needed more stakes. No
this
doubt.
is like an origin story, right?
Yeah,
but
that's right.
it doesn't feel like it when you're kind of just like playing the hits.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Especially. Yeah.
I liked it though. I feel like we are
Yeah.
we talking about
like
gripes,
it.
but
At the end of the day, like when those musical notes hit, like when those intros start, and you're, I mean, I don't know if you caught it. I could kind of hear people in our theater like jumping in.
Yeah. Oh, you can.
You know?
It's Mike.
It wasn't
like,
even
don't get it twisted.
Yeah,
like, you gonna feel it.
It wasn't even a full theater, and I could still hear people singing and like it was
and like not in a disruptive way, almost in a like you just can't help it way. You know.
Mike.
So yeah,
he's woven into the fabric.
I think I'm ready to score it. I don't know.
Yeah, score
it.
Unless you got more you want to.
I think I'm good. I don't have too many gripes other than they do kind of go out of their way to make Michael seem like this. Like, I mean, for God's sakes, he visits a children's hospital like 5 times in this movie. Am I wrong?
No.
He literally like goes and visits
But
the kids like 4 or 5 times. Like I'm not saying that doesn't happen. I'm sure like they do that. I'm like, but like I just feel like the movie went out of its way to like show us the.
Well, that's how he was as far as his childhood
I know,
stuff.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But I guess if
and I wish they would have got more into that, but they didn't really
I guess
flesh it out.
the dirtiest, grittiest version of Michael Jackson we get in this is when he's telling hey, can you tell the director to pull the camera back? And it's like we've seen Michael Jackson tear people apart. Come on, am I wrong about this? Like,
not tearing them apart.
He's fired people on stage. Yeah. He's not just. This,
well, that's like, a little later. That's a little older Mike.
Okay.
Saying Mike is really passive, also. You know, so
I guess.
And a young Mike too. They did that. They did that part well.
I guess you're just like to make the character completely. I mean, it's a person, but to make anybody 100% perfect is just like. I think it's an issue.
Like I said, it's just
highlight. Depending on how this second movie goes, towards the end, there's part of me that was like, I almost feel like if the second movie is around the lines of this movie, it's going to be better watching them back to back than it is watching like one part versus.
When you say around the lines, do you mean like kind of dodging the controversy?
I just mean in terms of like quality.
Okay,
you know, like quality and like not fleshing out background characters.
I think this. Yeah, I honestly feel like this next one needs to get a better writer and like
definitely
because honestly like this is where the story is like. We got to see like the rise and like I'm not saying we need to see the fall. I'm saying we need to see
this at least the second part is where all the complicated things are. So
but if this is the Jackson family wanting to tell their side of the story, then tell your side of the story on the stuff that like needs defending, I guess. And like I don't know.
And at this point, like Pratik said earlier, it was like there's nothing until 93. I want to say
which was probably smart to do that for the first movie. Like that, I think that's not really why they split it, but that's a good
right. Yeah, right. So,
but you said you were ready to score it.
I think I'm ready to score.
Go ahead.
I think I'm going to give it a 7.
Okay.
It was fun. I had a good time. Jafar killed it. He was fantastic. Like we've said, I wish every character in this was more fleshed out, and totally. To various degrees. But it's just everybody needed more fleshing out. I totally get why people might hate it, why people feel like it may not have gone deep enough. I get it, but at the end of the day, I had a fun time. I got to listen to music that I really loved, and I got to see some hate it.
Because I kind of want to bring this up. We've all seen the Rotten Tomatoes score, right?
I heard about it.
This has like a 20. It's been going from like a 20 to 30.
I heard like 28 or something like that.
I gotta say, after watching this movie, and I can't. How could you give this that? How could you like hate this movie? It's not terrible. Like it's not the greatest thing ever, but this is not a terrible movie. Like I know
dig into like
everyone's opinion, subjective, whatever.
Right. But like I get why, especially after years of like biopics in general, I get why like for Michael Jackson specifically, not fleshing it out can be such a sin that it's that where you're just like, this is not a good movie because of that. Yeah. And I totally get how how that happens.
I mean,
for me, again, I think that the strength of the performances and the musical numbers is enough to like bump it up from there. But if they didn't hit the music as well as they did,
like,
this probably would be like the score would be like a 3 or a 4.
Yeah.
But they did, and like it's not like this movie's like edited poorly or like even there's some slight pacing issues, and that's coming from someone who really notices pacing in almost everything we ever watch. But like this is beautifully shot, like you said, the music was great, the sound mixing is great, like the performances are all everyone does what is asked of them, you know. Do you want to score it? We usually score out of 10.
Out of 10, man, I gotta go 8.
8?
Yeah, I gotta go 8. Yeah,
that's fair. Do you think, as a big fan, once this is out of theaters, do you think this is something that you'll go back and revisit?
Oh, I will. Okay. Like, no doubt about it. Like,
but like knowing you'll just have movies on all the time. Is this something you will watch like a lot, or like do you think there's other Michael Jackson stories you'll probably lean on more?
Yeah, I'm used to the one from the '90s. That was the TV series. Yeah. That's the best one still to me. I mean, you guys too probably, but I will watch this kind of just loosey goosey probably
when you're in the mood.
Yeah, in the mood.
But
I guess for me, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna say 7 because this is it's like it's very okay. This movie is very okay. I'm always gonna probably just prefer watching a Michael Jackson like highlight reel, an actual highlight reel versus this. Like Jafar did great. There's some points where like in the dancing and stuff where I'm like, how could you compare anyone to Michael Jackson? So like I hate even like doing that, but it's like this is just a person, and Michael Jackson is like a god doing these dances. So it's like I don't know. It's hard to.
But still, he's impressive.
He did great.
Yeah.
Even we talked about a little bit the young kid who played.
Oh man, look, it didn't stay on him long enough. That kid was great.
Great performance. I mean, it's no kid from Hamnet, but it was a great performance. That's an inside joke.
Right. I feel you.
But yeah, 7. It was aggressively okay.
Yeah. Right, aggressively okay. I like that.
It was very much like we're gonna give you this story, and we're not. It's cookie cutter, but like so was Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
And like I'll watch this over Bohemian Rhapsody any day, and maybe that's a hot take, but I like Bohemian Rhapsody.
Right.
You want to take us out?
Go see Michaels in a theater.
You're right.
Go see Michaels. We'll see you guys next week. We got something.
See you guys.